What a nice guy, that Marty.
Back to the couch.
Hey, let's get right to this. So first for me, I conducted an interview with someone in a treehouse. I wasn't in a treehouse, but he was. His name's Pete Nelson. He's been nicknamed the Tree Whisperer. He's host of Treehouse Masters on Animal Planet, returning for a new season, and we're going to check in with him in the treehouse. I've been in this business for 14 years now, and I think this is the first interview I've done with someone who's actually been in a treehouse at the time of our interview. You're first. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you. No, I'm very proud of this treehouse. We just completed this treehouse about a week ago, and I am in. I'm just north of Seattle at the Bear Creek Studios. It's a famous recording studio here, and we finished this. We're about 18 feet off the ground in this acoustic recording studio treehouse, and we finished it just in time for Mr. CeeLo Green himself to come up here and lay down a track for his next album. How about that?
That's pretty cool. I heard he was CeeLo Green, treehouse enthusiast.
Yes, he is, in fact, and he will be in season 2 of Treehouse Masters that, as you know, airs on Animal Planet on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, anyway.
Here's my question, and there's so many questions I want to ask you about what you do and what you can build and all that. But CeeLo has access to, recording studios, the best all around the world. Why would you want to go in a tree to do that job?
Well, isn't it inspirational? I mean, to think, it just right away when you imagine that you're going to go up into a tree, maybe you could be a little more creative when you're up there. And in fact, I find that to be very, very true. I mean, these structures that plug you back into nature kind of take you back to the origins, maybe. I don't know what it is, but I find them very inspiring, and I think CeeLo does too.
All right, so here's where I'm at. I'm really being concerned about my challenge that I've given myself for the upcoming spring to build a raised garden bed. So that's where my daringness in terms of building something is. You've taken it to a whole new level. How do you become the world's best tree builder?
Well, it goes way back. I mean, I think that I had some unfulfilled designs in my head when I was a 14-year-old, and those thoughts, those images of what I could create never went away. And after school, after college, I decided that, I couldn't really see myself going into other areas as much as I could see myself following this passion to build tree houses. And I spent a while building residential houses here in Seattle, and then in the back of my mind, though, I always wanted to be the treehouse guy. And so I really worked hard to understand how the trees respond to the houses we're putting in them, and that's how it all came about. I really learned quite a bit, and now at this point, 25 years into building tree houses professionally, I mean for a living, I feel like we've got a pretty good understanding.
And you do this for a living. You operate a bed and breakfast with your wife near Seattle. People can actually stay in tree houses.
Yes.
But when you're just driving along and you see, your average backyard tree house, do you ever cringe going, oh my goodness, that's unsafe? And is there one thing you wish the rest of us knew if we were going to venture into the art of treehouse building?
Well, I try not to be overly critical, because I mean the essence of a treehouse, they can be the most simple structures. My worry is that there are two things to keep in mind when you're building in trees, and that is trees grow in girth and they move in the wind. And if you're going to attach to multiple trees, you need to keep in mind that the forces when the wind blows and they're blowing, the trees are moving independently, they can do some damage to your platform, and so you need to allow for that kind of movement. So if I see a treehouse that maybe wasn't attached correctly, then you just cross your fingers. But really, if you keep those two things in mind, then with the hardware we're using these days, readily available at a number of locations on the internet, then just do a little bit of research now and understand that those forces are out there, and if you're going to invest the time and effort into a treehouse, you might as well do it right, and there's a lot of knowledge out there to gain.
So watching the show, are we going to be able to pick up any of those tips, or is it more just like, wow, look what can happen if you dream?
Yeah. Well, thank you, because I'm most proud that Animal Planet and on the Treehouse Masters show, we're able to demonstrate how we do this. And, you know, it's my mission to show people how to do this responsibly. And, you know, the trees are accepting this hardware. It's rather sizable stuff, and the trees are accepting it like an artificial limb. It works remarkably well. They can take tremendous amounts of weight, this hardware we use. And so I'm able to slip that in there on these television shows, and I think it's a great service, because what we're really trying to do is fulfill people's dreams, put people back into nature, you know, get people together, families together, communities together to create these fanciful structures, and it really works. So teaching people how to do this through Treehouse Masters is really the greatest honor.
So what I'm hearing, I mean, we think of it for the kids, but it's not just for the kids. It sounds like in our fast-paced world, maybe the adults need these tree houses more than kids these days.
Well, we call them grown-up tree houses now, you know, because, boy, it resonates with everyone. I mean, I've been so lucky to see, you know, anyone from 6 years old to 86. Everybody responds the same way. Everybody loves tree houses and wants to be in a tree house. And so as we, you know, get into adulthood, we realize that, okay, well, maybe we need something slightly bigger. You know, it's not, you know, the kids' tree house anymore. And, you know, talking to you from this recording studio, it's fully appointed. I mean, there's I hate to say it, but there's a bathroom in this tree house. How about that? And we're 20 feet off the ground, and it's
well, in the past few
you know,
years,
a kid might not think that way. In
the past few years, we've made an HD TV studio here. If you can build one of those in a tree house, then we can talk a little bit more. Hey, I admire your work. Nice to meet you, and I'm curious to see what CeeLo pumps out there in the studio.
Well, I can't wait to show it to the world. It's really exciting. Thank you.
Good luck.